Welcome to Deadly Dames, and this is part 2 of our Halloween A to Z horror challenge, made up of mostly our to be watch pile, which is our sort of idea as to how to try and get the mega to be watch pile down. As I said previously, we do have some letters missing, but we're working on them. We'll figure something out for them, but the majority of the alphabet we've been able to make up. So as you can see in front of me, we have C and D, and believe it or not, out of the mega pile of to be watch movies that we had, we literally only had one movie, horror film, that was starting with C, and it was this dreadful Cheerleader Massacre. I don't know why I bought Cheerleader Massacre. I must have been insane the day that I picked it up, or it must have just been really cheap and I thought this could be funny. I think again it's one of those movies that you would have picked up really cheap in Global Video or Blockbuster or Movie Express back when DVDs first came out. And sometimes, as I said, there were hidden gems in there, and that's my theory behind why I probably picked this one up. Either that, or I needed to bump the price up to something to get free postage or something, I don't know. But it's funny because when Claire and I were watching Cheerleader Massacre, we automatically knew that the entire cast was made up of porn stars. You could tell straight away. You just know that you've got porn stars in a movie. The acting was atrocious. Basically, it's about a group of cheerleaders, obviously played by late 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, which was really funny. Supposed to be like in a high school, who are going on a trip. I'm not entirely sure where the trip is, because it seems to be in the mountains, but none of them are dressed for going into like wintry weather, which is really funny. To do a cheerleading gig. But there's an escaped lunatic, isn't there always, who's on the loose killing people. And obviously they've got the twist at the end. I think they expected the twist at the end to be like revolutionary, but by the time it got to the twist, I was ready to hit that fast forward button. It was very slow. None of the deaths really mattered. What I will say though, with it being porn stars that are pretty much in this, the sex scene looks pretty real. I mean, there's like a sex scene where there's not an awful lot left to the imagination. Put it this way, they would have had to have taped the guy's doobie-da down to get that scene done if it wasn't real. So I'm actually surprised that made it in there. I suppose it was just because, you know, it didn't look very fun, the sex scene. Maybe that's why it got left in there. They've just went, might be real, but it doesn't look good. But I'm off topic. It was cheesy from beginning to end. As I said, like I hate ruining movies. I hate giving away the plot twist, but I don't really think it's going to matter if I say anything, the plot twist in this one. I'll try not to, but basically there's the old tagline from many other horror films that, you know, an accident happened years ago and they tried to cover it up, and then one of them didn't want to cover it up and it's them coming back for revenge. And how many horror films have you seen that? And well, this is basically in this movie, only those other horror films did it better. The acting's very wooden. And as I said, it's porn stars. And the storyline doesn't make much sense. But strangely enough, it was better than Hammer. So at least, I mean, it might have been really poorly made, but it was better than Hammer. So that's my C. And I can safely say that Cheerleader Massacre is going in the trade-in pile. So at least it's out the to-be watch pile. Bye-bye Cheerleader Massacre. And then next up we have Dead End, which is actually quite a recent film, this one. See if I can see the date on it. For the life of me I can't see, but I'm sure 2016, there we are. So it is quite a recent one, and I do actually remember buying this. I picked it up from Asda. I think it's because it was like £3 and I thought it sounded quite good. I mean, Mad Max meets Book of Eli. Book of Eli was okay. Mad Max's legend movie, but sparks up memories of From Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Basically, Dead End is a post-apocalyptic world where you're following two brothers. Now, straight off the bat, the way that this movie starts, it doesn't build enough for you to care about the brothers. And I get what it's mean about From Dusk Till Dawn, because the brothers at the beginning of this are kind of like trying to rob somebody. And obviously the brothers in From Dusk Till Dawn start off as bad guys, and they are bad guys. But for whatever reason, you end up rooting for George Clooney's character to survive. In this one, you do not care about the two brothers at all. So when stuff starts to happen to them, they just didn't build up enough character for you to actually care whether they died or not. So basically, they seem to have like a working car and people want it, and they end up in this town, and the younger brother's hurt. So when their car tire gets stabbed and they're stranded in this town, this lassie offers to help them, help his brother because he's hurt, and the other brother gets himself into a spot of trouble. And then the only good bit about this movie was right at the end when it kind of went, and you could totally see the influence in it. It was the influence with the table scene, for example, was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was straight out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, them all sitting at this table scene eating dinner together. And then I think they kind of went, tried to do a little bit like Django Unchained, and a little, you know how at the end of Django Unchained just all goes bloody murder? Well, that's kind of what they tried to do at the end of this, where everybody just starts dying at the end. But by the time the bloody conclusion arrives, you don't care enough about the characters to continue watching. It wasn't an overall bad movie. I mean, what I will say for it though is, in a lot of post-apocalyptic movies, they don't portray how people would actually look. And I get it, it's Hollywood. You don't want to be looking at hairy women and stinky looking men with teeth falling at their head and yellow teeth and nits in their hair. You don't want to be looking at that. But I've always thought it'd be really interesting to see a movie that was called The True Apocalypse, and you actually got to see all these hairy people, and like men and women, and you actually got to see the state that people actually would look like if it was apocalyptic. I can't speak anymore. So they do actually kind of portray them like that. I mean, the guy's hair's long and straggly, they've got beards, their teeth are yellow and black. There's a woman that's got like a disgusting split lip, and so they do actually portray people the way that they would actually look in that situation, which I quite liked. The actual like bad guys, I suppose they kind of portrayed them all as bad guys, but the actual ones that are supposed to be against the brothers, they were okay. My biggest problem was that there weren't characters that I hadn't seen before. I've seen pretty much every one of those characters in another movie similar to this, and I've seen pretty much every scene in movies that are similar to this. There was no originality to it. It wasn't the worst film I've ever seen, but I did get extremely bored with it because I didn't care for the characters and I'd seen it all before. As I said, I'm glad that I've managed to get it off my to-be watch pile, but like Cheerleader Massacre, it's definitely going in the trade-in pile. But I am going to persevere and get through the rest of these, because I really badly need to get through this to-be watch pile. Next up is a movie which I bought a long time ago actually, and I just never got around to watching it, and I already know that it's going to be crazy. And then the movie after that, which I'm hoping to get to in the next couple of days, is one which has been recommended to me so many times, and for one reason or another I just haven't watched it yet. So I'm actually looking forward to F when I get there. But as always, hopefully you're enjoying these reviews and liking me forcing myself through my to-be watch pile and actually thinking, why did I buy this movie? I bet most of them are pound shop buys actually, probably Halloween time, which reminds me I need to go in there and have a look and see what they've got. Why did I do that to myself? But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying me watching my to-be watch pile and doing this A to Z of Halloween challenge. And if you want to leave any comments below or talk about any of the movies, if you agree with me or if you don't disagree with me, just let me know. But as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and take care.